So if someone says, well, I'm good, I'm making $5 million a year, only if you don't have the potential to make 10.
Right.
Like if you stretch yourself to give it everything you have, and you know that, look, I'm tapping into everything I have to make this $1 million, to make this 6 figures. Then I agree. Let's celebrate you. It's well-deserved. But if you have the potential to do more, to change more lives, to give more, to be more, why not?
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience. Guess what? We're not in our regular place right now. We are on location, coming to you for the whole month. The next 4 episodes, we're going to be somewhere different. You don't know what will pop up, but today we're in front of our cabana in sunny
Scottsdale,
hot Arizona.
That's right. It is hot in Arizona, but it's a different heat from what we're used to, right? We're from the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and it's humidity there. Here, it's like desert hot. But still hot, still over 100 degrees.
I know we came early. We said we're going to get up early. We're going to go outside around 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock and record. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it is okay. And, it's so cool because, again, often we're asked, are you here on business or pleasure? Like whenever we travel, business or pleasure? And we're like, both. And that's the beauty behind finding something you love to do, something you're passionate about doing. Tracy often says, I don't think you're ever going to retire. Because what do you say about retirement?
You love what you do, babe. You can't retire from what you do.
Yeah.
You bring joy, you bring light, and you bring access to, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the most important thing to remember is when you retire, it means that you are stepping back from something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like you said, how do I step back from adding value? How do I step back? I just, from providing equal access is what I do for a career. And, it's hard for me but because we already travel, because we see the world, because we're able to spend the time with our kids, because we're able to make decisions and choices on our time, not on someone else being able to decide that for us. I say all of that to say to you guys is that I hope this self-talk experience podcast allows you to say better things to yourself about whatever your situation is about how you see it. And how you see it sometimes determines how you say it. And how you say it determines what you attract. Remember, this is the self-talk experience. And so the things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what we attract for ourselves.
Right. Because for me, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're traveling more with Darnell because you guys are empty nesters. So are you going to start presenting now with him? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to present myself at the dinner reservation later. Sure.
Table for 2. That's what she's going to get. So look, if you're listening to this, I know many of you all, in fact, most people listen to this.
Yes.
And so you're not watching. So you're missing out on the cabana and the heat. Which you can visibly see it's nice and beautiful and sunny out here. But don't worry, continue to listen, whatever's best for you. But just so you know, the next few episodes, we are going to be at several different places. Where are we headed next?
Well, babe, we're going to be going to Texas. We're going to Houston. We're going to San Antonio. We're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And then we're going to be in Spain. Yeah. We're going to be in Morocco. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And we never know where we're going to do it from at those locations. Like today, there's a little music in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear because this mic is a really good mic. But so it may be actually masking the sounds outside of just you and I. But if there's some distractions, we'll do our best to make adjustments. I remember we took a trip to Jamaica before we get into today's topic. And we were doing a video just like this. And I didn't know that it was clothing optional.
I knew it was clothing optional. I booked it.
Did you know for real?
I booked it.
Okay. What do you know?
Yeah, sure.
So we're doing a video like this and somebody walks by naked and another person. And then one person decides to stay there. I think maybe they felt like, hey, I'm on camera, bent over and everything, guys. It was so hopefully we won't have any of those distractions. If so, maybe our viewership will go up. Maybe
keep it spicy.
We go viral. All right, guys, it's the self-talk experience. So, of course, we talk about saying healthy things to ourselves because sometimes we say some unhealthy things to ourselves. And hopefully for those who have been really tuning in to all the episodes here, you're starting to even catch yourself when you're saying the unhealthy things to yourself.
Mhm.
I know we do all the time. We're like, man, that probably wasn't the best way to say that. Let me reframe that. Let me reshape that and say that differently. So,
And we do it in a kind way, in a loving way, right?
yeah.
So if I say something, he doesn't say, "Why'd you say that?" He's like, "Babe, how can you say that differently? Let's think about that." And I'm like, "Okay, you're right, you're right, you're right."
Yeah.
So it all depends on your approach,
Yeah.
too. If your approach is sweet and people know that you mean it from the constant of your heart and you want to make them better, then it's great, right?
Yeah. And I'm looking at you and your talk good to yourself shirt. And I know you get a lot of, it's a conversation starter. Even here at the pool, it was a conversation starter for you. And then my shirt, a guy on the elevator, he was like, man, I'm writing a book on, he may be actually watching this. If so, what's up, Scott? He's like, I'm writing a book on self-talk. And so new drop coming soon.
Oh,
New
yeah.
gear.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So stay tuned. All right. So let's talk about today's episode.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, we were talking yesterday about how we speak about ourselves and our situation. And we always, a lot of times say, hey, I'm going through it right now. I'm in a dark space.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we have to reframe that. I was thinking, let's not say we're in a dark place. Maybe let's rephrase it and say we're in a dim place.
Yeah.
Because there's always some light. If you are on a track and you know where you want to go and you have put in your mind that it's gonna happen. We do go through times where it's tough and it's hard. So I don't want to discount that at all. But let's not say we're in a dark place. Let's say the light is really dim. I mean, it could be a night light, right? It could be really dim. But I feel like we're always in a little bit of light heading to a brighter light.
So good.
Heading to a brighter light, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like that anymore. I just can see the light at the end of the tunnel. No, there's light in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't really focus on how bright it is because we're in that spot.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know?
That's why associations are so important, because we were with a friend of ours yesterday, HB, and I said something about the light at the end of the tunnel, and he said exactly what you said. He's like, hey, but does it have to be dark while you're in the tunnel? And I thought about it, and I didn't think about what you just said, like even a night light, because when I was smaller, much younger, and I remember having a night light in my room, and it helped me to feel more comfortable, even just a glimmer of light, you know what I mean? Like I could work my way to the bathroom, not trip over anything,
right.
And you just felt better if you were afraid of the dark. And so what if we looked at the tunnel, the pathway, the journey towards a brighter light as still lit? And I think one of the ways that we've helped to do that for ourselves is by making sure that we say what we're grateful for. And we've talked about this in a previous episode, but I do think it's important, because I remember thinking, man, I can't believe I'm in this place where I don't have money to put gas in my gas tank. But then when I started the gratitude journal, I started saying things like, I'm just thankful that I had enough, even fumes, to make it to the appointment where I could make the sale, where I could do the presentation, to perhaps make the money to then have gas money to put in the tank. You know what I mean? To put gas in the tank. But what if, because that's a light, right? That's even though it may not have been a bright light, because I couldn't fill my tank up, couldn't get it even halfway full, but there was some light there because I woke up with the energy, with the wherewithal, with the ability to think, to get to an appointment where I could generate more money, to do the activity, right? So some of you the same way, to take the class, to go to practice, to read the book, you have the ability to do that. Not everybody does. And so that is some light.
It's some light. And also, babe, let's say we do get in our moments where we can't even see the dim light. We do get in those moments, but that's when it's important of who we're around and who we surround ourselves with, who we talk to, who we listen to. Because even if you're in that space, maybe who you come home to can say, I know it was rough, come here. And that hug or that smile gets you to see, okay, there's my nightlight. My nightlight is right there, right? So sometimes we don't have the wherewithal even to get it out of ourselves. But if we're around good people, and let's take it a step further. Let's say you don't have it in you and you don't have anybody around you. Sometimes you could get it from a stranger. You're walking and somebody may just give you a smile or a nod. And you're like, okay, you know what? I can do this. I got this. I don't know them. They don't even know what they did for me, but I have it. So you have to really sometimes dig so deep to find it, because it's negativity. It's negativity. And then you're like, well, where's my light? This isn't working for me.
That's so true.
The server we met yesterday. Amazing. Such a light. And if I was having a bad day, she would have definitely cheered me up.
I mean, you know how some people are, they just brighten the room when they walk in. And you don't have to know them. Exactly what you said. It could be a stranger. And I remember, look, yesterday, her name is Michaela. You're watching this. Hey, Michaela. So she was so magnetic and her energy was so amazing. And I told her, this is the challenge, right? So many people are afraid to compliment people. Yes, you like the shoes. What stopped you from saying nice shoes? Yes, you love that they were so energetic and brought you so much joy. They made you smile. What stopped you from saying, wow, you are hilarious? Like, why not compliment people? Where do we get to the place where we feel like I'm a thinker, but I'm just not going to say it? And so anyway, I said it. I said, your energy is magnetic. I mean, seriously, like you are having amazing spirit. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you. And it was such a good connection. She asked, can I sit down for a second and talk to you?
We were having a really good conversation.
At a restaurant, she started sitting down talking to Tracy.
And I really felt like she cared about what she was so interested.
I know. And Michaela, look,
so authentic.
And she's like, I think 27 years old, right? So much younger than you, sorry, but
much younger.
I'm saying not in looks, but in age that she's been on earth. So all I'm saying is the person doesn't have to look like you, doesn't have to be the same age, same demographic. She's from Seattle, Washington. We're from the Maryland area. Yeah. So none of that matters. It's just the energy. And so I said, hey, listen, you have something special about you. And there's a potential in you that I really hope that you tap into. She's like, oh my gosh, other people have told me that. I can't believe you're saying this right now. I know that I need to be doing more and I want to do more now and I'm going to do more. So again, it's just so powerful that we have the opportunity to touch lives like that so that other folks see a brighter light, perhaps in that day. Yes. Not even like years. Like I believe we brightened her life yesterday, and she certainly brightened ours.
She did. She really did.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And also, babe, with the compliments, sometimes you're getting a compliment, so you still have to take it however you can get it. Because sometimes you'll say, "Oh, I love your shoes. I love those. I love the color. It looks great on you." And then somebody might say, "Okay, shoes." That's a compliment. When somebody says, "Okay, hair." That means you like my hair.
Right.
Thank you.
That's funny. In our culture, that happens often, right? People say, okay, t-shirt. Yeah. Right. Okay, self-talk.
Self-talk. All right. That means you like my shirt.
Yeah, it's a
way. You like my
shirt. Right. Just say
you like my
shirt. And so, but here's the reason why sometimes it's tough for people to see a brighter light, to see that it's not dark, right? Because they haven't reframed it. And they haven't told themselves that, you know what, it could be worse. And this is that self-talk, right? Like you said, you woke up with an ability to do something and some people didn't, right? They're losing the ability to even think or even speak what they think, or maybe they don't have the ability to speak. So I just want us to really, as part of the self-talk community, to really, and I'm not saying you've got to settle. That's not what I'm saying, because good is never good enough when great is a possibility, when you have the potential. So if someone says, well, I'm good, I'm making $5 million a year. Only if you don't have the potential to make 10.
Right.
Like if you stretch yourself to give it everything you have, and you know that, look, I'm tapping into everything I have to make this $1 million, to make this 6 figures. Then I agree. Let's celebrate you. It's well-deserved. But if you have the potential to do more, to change more lives, to give more, to be more, why not? Why not? I think the biggest regret for people on their deathbed is, man, I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, more time to spend with my grandkids, more time to tell more people I love them, more time to whatever it is.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, knowing that that is the end for all of us, why not give it everything you have with every moment you have?
Right now.
Yeah. And see the light instead of the dark. And I know that's hard when we don't say good things to ourselves. So what do you think about this as we, come to a close here? It is hard. We found it hard in the relationships that we've been able to build, both personally and professionally. It is hard to find people who treat other people kind when they don't treat themselves kind.
Right.
When they don't trust anybody else, because a lot of times they don't even trust themselves.
Well, if you're a sneaky and suspicious person, then you think everybody's sneaky and suspicious. Right? Somebody, you know how you say, well, I would never do that. But if you know you would do it, then
Yeah, it's tough.
Right?
It's tough. You say, treat other people how you want to be treated, but some people don't like themselves. That's why it's hard for them to like
That's
other
why
people.
you can't get
You know what I
that.
mean?
Right.
Like love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we don't love yourself. It's hard to love your neighbor. You hate yourself, you hate your neighbor. So sometimes it's tough, and we work hard because we want somebody else to make us happy. Like I'm looking for this man, this woman to make me happy. I'm looking for this school to make me happy. But happy is an internal decision.
Right.
It is not a mutual agreement. It's something that you decide to be. It's a choice that you've made. And that's why I think that reframing how you look at dark and light is important.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, because it's going to be hard for you to see the light in others, for you to see the light in your life, if you can't identify some light that you have yourself. Like, you know what? I am a light. You know what? I do love me. And that's why it's important to, in some cases, even therapy, to release what's holding you back from the light, release what's holding you back from loving yourself, release what's, unfortunately anchoring you to something that you can't change. It's a fact. It's not a problem. There's no solution to a fact. There's solutions to problems. And so the fact is what it is. And so we just ask that as you work on your self-talk, and we're doing this too, right?
Yes.
Like just earlier today, I was like, babe, self-talk, and you're like, you're right. And you shifted it.
I shifted it. I got it.
Yeah, but we do it all the time. And that's why, one, being grateful, saying what you're grateful for. And if you don't have an accountability partner to do that until it becomes a habit, we did that until it became a habit. We still do it every now and then. Hey, what were you grateful for today? Give me 3 things. And then I'll share my 3 things.
Yes.
And so until it becomes a habit, perhaps do that. Get around some good people who perhaps add light, even if it's a little flashlight, on your life, or who want to remind you that you are a light.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then hold each other accountable for continuing to walk this walk of good self-talk.
In a nice way.
Yes. And when that happens, guys, you will see that you'll bring more light to other people. More people will bring light to you because it's something about the attraction of like-minded people.
Yes.
And you never know what difference you're making in the ripple effect, because sometimes you make a difference, like you made a difference in Michaela's. Like Michaela could go to a roommate or to a best friend and make a difference because of the light you shared, and then that person can go share with their child who really needed it because they were bullied that day. And so it's really a ripple effect.
And you never know how far it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So here we are in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I'm sweating now. It's time to go.
That may have been TMI. Okay. So we are in Scottsdale today. So happy Thursday. Every Thursday, we are right here for seasons. So this is September. So our season ends at the end of this month. So keep checking us out, guys. And no. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to give it everything we have in the next few episodes. Things that have helped us to be able to have the life we have today.
Absolutely.
Personal and business. What are you here for? Both. You show up in life for both. You're going to make it big, and you're going to enjoy it while you're making big.
We're not leaving anything on the table, guys.
All right, guys. Remember, self-talk. The things you say to yourself about yourself eventually determines what you attract for yourself.
And Darnell Self doesn't need a flashlight or a nightlight, because he has me.
Good night, light. Take care, guys. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.